Hello, tubers and tubettes. My name is David, and I live in Northern California. If this is the first time you found me, I'm glad you found me. And if you're returning or you've already know about me, thanks for coming back. Today, what I wanted to talk about was a YouTuber that I was watching probably from the very beginning before I got back into YouTubing, and he I was a little inspired by some of the guys. These are expats that were living over in the Philippines, and one of them in particular, he had a channel. His name was Mark Thornton, and he had a channel where it was Every Man Has a Story, and he would ask really just kind of average people about their lives and how they came about their what their story was, basically. And it was pretty interesting, but I would say a lot of it was based on Mark's story about how he came over there to the Philippines. It was really an economic thing to get out of to be able to survive on his Social Security. He had gone through a divorce and also a bankruptcy, he said. And I just found it very interesting to watch this guy's story. And one of the things that kind of drew me in there, just thinking about it, was he kept coming over there and was kind of talking about how he had a dream life. And he also had a dream wife. His wife was 30-something years younger than her. And she really, really wanted a baby. But he didn't really want a baby. So finally, the way he resolved it was to say, well, we'll try. If we have a baby, then, there you have your baby. If we don't have it, you can't be mad at me. Well, she's pretty young. I think she's lower than her 30s. And he was in his 60s. So it was an age gap relationship. But as much as he would talk about different things, and he seemed to be a very logical person, he wasn't really running his life very logically. Because as you started to, peel the layers of the onion off, you kind of found out some other things about him. He was a cruise ship director. He had been involved in the music industry. He had bunch of Apple stock, I guess, and then he ended up selling that to buy a big old house, so that his kids would have a place to stay whenever they came to visit him, because they lived in England. And one of his daughters, he had two daughters, one of them was autistic. So you just really get pulled into it, almost like it's a reality show. And some of the things that he started to say that really made my ears perk up was that he had open heart surgery. I think he said he had it about 10 years before, when he was doing these interviews. And the open heart surgery is a pretty serious thing, He had medication that he was on, but he said that because he was over there and it was very relaxing, he would go out swimming every evening, that he could slowly get off of all of his medicines. Now, I'm assuming that was under doctor's directives, to get off of his medicines. So slowly he was able to get off of this. I think some were hypertension medicines, so probably did have something to do with stress. But I don't know. I just had a vision. I just had a premonition that he wasn't going to be around a long time. I was thinking, well, that'd be kind of interesting to meet him sometime, because I just had watched so many of his videos, just so many. And then one day, a couple months ago, they come on and they said that he had a massive stroke. And one of the things that they had talked about over there in the Philippines is the medical system is really bad. I mean, they have no ambulances, there's no 911. So sometimes it's just faster to get to where you need to get. Just throw you in the back of a truck and get you there. It's a third world country for sure. And where he was living was kind of remote from the better hospitals. I don't know, to me, I just had this premonition, and he had a massive stroke. He went into the hospital, and he never came out. He actually passed away. His personality was so strong, you know, that it drove a lot of people away from him. He didn't, I know he had friends and stuff, but a lot of his original friends, they never said anything bad about him. But I think some of it had to do with him being a very liberal Democrat, and a lot of the expats are Trumpsters. So I think that had something to do with it. He went a long time without saying his political, you know, his political position, but eventually he did say it, and then he got a lot of people coming after him for that, which is kind of sad. But after he died, then you know, they had some GoFundMe accounts, and I think they might have even done some on YouTube. They had some kind of videos to wrap it up with some of the friends that he had. You know, they did it in a very nice way. And one of the guys was who did his own thing was Paul in the Philippines. And I thought he did a very, very classy. They weren't super close, you know. At the beginning they were, and I guess Paul helped him a lot in terms of getting his YouTube channel started up. But for one reason or another, they kind of fell out of friendship. But Paul, I thought, was really classy. I mean, he didn't say anything negative, and he did get a chance to see him right before he died, and he got a chance to see his son. So Mark had a son, and so then his wife came on, and she was saying things like, you know, it's hard to thank everybody that's donated money, but I really appreciate it, and da-da-da-da-da, and I just thought, is it really that hard to say thank you to everybody that donated you money? She just wasn't into the YouTube like he was. So now I wonder a lot about what's going on with her, you know, being a single mother with his son. And I can't imagine the YouTube income can stay up, you know, since he's not adding new videos. I keep seeing some of his old videos pop up in my YouTube channel, and it always makes me a little sad, because he was such a strong, opinionated person, and then, you know, once you're gone, once you're dead, I mean, you're gone. And there were some guys that had some really bad things to say about him. So I think he brought out the good and the bad opinions. But I mean, he's dead, you know. I don't know the point of putting somebody down when they're dead. Anyway, I just wanted to say that, you know, Mark Thornton, he did help me get started in it. He did come across as kind of like a regular guy by telling his stories and everything. And I really appreciated listening to him. It actually made me think, well, if he can do it, maybe I can do it. I'm not really big into interviewing people, although I thought about that. But I guess I'm more of a talking head thing. I'm just going to say what I'm thinking. And I'm using it for therapy because it actually makes me feel better. And I don't have to have a therapist. So anyway, that's to Mark Thornton. Every man has a story. And even though you are gone, you are still remembered. And in my case, fondly remembered. Thank you much, and have a great day.